Every new year starts with a hangover, so that everything that happens the rest of the year is an improvement. It's Sunday, I'm Akorn, and this is your weekly dose of Idiocracy that is modern-day society. If you'd like to help keep this channel alive, please share the videos. Let's jump into today's show. British man Luke Yarwood, 36, has been jailed for 18 months for 2 anti-immigration X-posts that were viewed just 33 times. The court heard he was reported to police by his brother-in-law. The vast majority of the time, if your relatives find out any reason that the news or whoever tells them that they should turn in people, they'll definitely turn you in first, even before just a stranger on the street would. April 2003. Dublin, one of the safest cities in the world. Dublin is considered one of the safer cities in the world. An international survey rated it 18th, well ahead of many other European cities. January 2024. Dublin ranks among the top 10 most dangerous major cities in Europe. Yeah, that's what they've done to all the Western nations. Influencer who spent over $49,000 on lip fillers says he can no longer close his mouth. The depths of stupidity and wickedness knows no bounds. If you lie to the government, it's a felony and you go to prison. If the government lies to you, then it's just politics. It's fact check true. Truck driver spent Christmas Eve stuck in a snowstorm after ignoring signs, following GPS, California troopers say. I've never understood people that just blindly follow a GPS. I remember an article or something that I saw back some time ago now. I believe it was a woman in a car following her GPS, and she went off-road, and I think it was like across a field or something, and drove into a pond or a river. I can't remember which. But when they asked her why did she do it, she just said that's where the GPS told her to go. The pickle in McDonald's burgers is now thicker than the patty. Oh, you can't say that though, because McDonald's claims that their burgers have never changed size. About to go run a 12-hour shift so 33% of my income can go overseas. And don't forget, that's just the part that they take right off the top. I would say on average that most of us here in the US probably pay another 30% in taxes on all the other taxes, fees, permits, licenses, property taxes, fuel taxes, and countless others. Here's a clip of an entitled, spoiled brat liberal who gets arrested for theft.
This is a warning. Ma'am, don't steal the sign. You can't steal the sign. You're on camera stealing a sign. Sam! Officer, she's stealing a sign. Ma'am, you're about to walk right into a police officer who you're committing theft right now. Don't throw it over. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Steal her sign?
I just moved it.
You just did what?
I just moved it.
You just moved it. Oh, you took it. Okay. Who was holding it?
Me. She just ripped it. It's on camera. She just ripped it out of my hand.
She just ripped it out of your hand?
Yes.
Why'd you rip it out of his hand?
Because this restricts women's rights.
Restricts women's rights?
He's
Would you get her off her sign, please?
lies on college campus.
Okay.
Where I go.
Can you get off the sign for you damaging property? Okay.
I can't believe y'all protect them.
You're not going anywhere. Right now you're being detained. Okay.
Detained for what?
Larceny. You stole his sign.
He has it back.
Okay, yeah, because I got it from you.
I moved it 50 yards.
I don't care if you moved it 1 foot. You don't have a right to take someone's property. Okay? Period. I don't care what the circumstance is. You don't have a right to take anyone's property. He was holding it, therefore it was his, and you took it. Okay? I know you may not agree with what's being said, but you don't have a right to take someone's property. Period. Okay? want 16 minutes.
Look, sir, I'm not trying to get arrested. I just don't agree with this.
Do you have ID on you?
No. Am I being arrested right now?
Okay, right now you need to figure out what's going on with this, okay?
Okay, well, I won't mess with this sign again. Okay.
That's fine. Alright, do you have ID on you?
Yeah.
Okay, can I see?
What?
You're under arrest warrant. You admitted to taking a sign from me.
Well, all I did was I just walked it over here. I was gonna give it back to him.
Well, I don't know that, man. I didn't know that. I came over here and then you rested against the sign. So listen, we need to make this difficult, cause a scene. Take your backpack off, turn around, put your hands behind your back.
I cannot believe this is
Okay, right
happening.
now I'm asking you to do that.
Is there something else that I can do?
No, I just told you you're under arrest. I cannot unarrest you, and a judicial official must do that. That's where we're gonna go from here. Okay?
New Year's diet strategy just dropped. Well, I guess you could take everything out of the fridge that has red dye number 40 or whatever, because that's about the biggest thing they've done. If they actually wanted to do some good, the first thing they would have banned is soybean oil and all related derivatives and high fructose corn syrup. And that's just a start. Brazilian woman refused to give up her paid window seat to a crying child, got filmed, went viral, and faced backlash. Now she's suing the airline and the passenger for invasion of privacy. She should. I completely agree with this. If you pay for a seat on a plane, you are not obligated to give that seat up for any reason. If you choose to give it up, that's your choice. But trying to be forced into it, or bullied into it, shamed into it, that should be listed under verbal assault at the very least, let alone when the airlines are complicit in it. New year, new me. New year, new memes. Isn't it weird that in America, our flag and our culture offend so many people, but our benefits don't? Yeah, and you also never heard of the 150 plus nations complaining about receiving all the so-called financial aid coming from the US either. San Francisco power outage left 130,000 in the dark as self-driving cars stalled in the middle of streets. I saw something about the Waymo taxes, the self-driving taxes, how they all just stopped dead in the roads. Just that alone caused a huge amount of traffic jams. Apparently, they have to have some type of continuous uplink to Wi-Fi or something. I'm not exactly sure. Democrat Benjamin Scour runs for Iowa House on a platform of free healthcare for all. Of course he does. If Elon Musk has $221 billion and there's only 8 billion of us in the world, why doesn't he give all of us $1 billion? This is some of that Common Core math, and that's not an exaggeration. Here's a video clip that's related to this that I came across earlier this week, showing how she learned to do math, which is how all of us learned how to do basic math, versus how her son is being taught to do math through the Common Core curriculum.
When I was in school, Lucas, all we did, add here, so this is gonna be 13. I carry the 1, and I'll go 1 plus 4 is 5, plus 1 is 6. That's my answer.
Love how you show how it's actually done.
How it's actually done, okay.
These are the 10s and that's the 1s.
Okay.
4 10s and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay, that's...
And then 7 1s. And
okay.
then 1 more 10.
Okay.
And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
wow.
11, 12, 14, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Okay, this wants to be with its friends, so it goes up to 50 and then it counts one more up, so it will make 63. That's how you do it.
Okay, times have definitely changed.
If this would have been 20 years ago, most would have never believed it. But today, this is exactly what I've come to expect. The mental illness is strong in this one. Yeah, I haven't seen the septum ring indicator fail yet. America, show us a movie about the working class. Netflix, coal miners were trans and gay. When they keep telling you that you are threatening free speech for advocating for free speech. Bizarre video shows humanoid robots preparing for border patrol duties between China and Vietnam. China is about to send humanoid robots to work at busy border with Vietnam. UB Tech Robotics has won a $37 million contract to deploy its Walker S2 machines there starting next month. It's only going to get worse. Vegan scientists mixing 27 carcinogenic chemicals in an attempt to make a soybean taste like a hamburger. Yeah, because don't you guys know? We don't get enough soybeans in our diet. Next time you go to the store, when you're buying your groceries, stop and take a look at the ingredients of the items and see how many you can find that doesn't contain soybean oil. For those that don't know, soybeans is just one of the ways that they've tried to physically destroy masculinity in today's society. Sometimes it's not about the money. Yeah, from what I've seen in a video or two, I think he got his jaw broke this time, didn't he? As a matter of fact, there's some that's saying he won't be able to return to boxing again. When a Democrat says a threat to our democracy, they really mean a threat to their corrupt bureaucracy. That goes for all bureaucrats. The North Pole will be ice-free by the summer of 2013 because of man-made global warming. Al Gore, 2009. 2026. Nope, still cold. The definition of a socialist. That guy who comes to a potluck empty-handed, complains about the food everyone else brought, then tries to take all the leftovers. Finally, a cause worth fighting for. Protect pregnant men from climate discrimination. One nation under fraud, completely visible with spying and lying to all. That is for certain.
Tonight, an Orange County woman faces 5 felonies accused of registering her dog to vote. According to the Orange County District Attorney, 62-year-old Laura Yorix of Costa Mesa cast ballots in her dog's name, and those ballots were for the recall of the governor in 2021 and the 2022 primary. The dog's vote was successfully counted in 2021, but it was rejected in 2022. Prosecutors say Yorix posted a social media picture of her dog wearing an I voted sticker. If convicted, Yorix faces up to 6 years in state prison.
Okay, they shouldn't be able to vote. Not that it actually matters. But I still do believe that we should be able to claim dogs and cats as dependents on our taxes. Christmas lights kept turning off, so I did this. Hopefully now they'll remain on. Well, yeah, they'll probably remain on, but don't worry, you won't need the lights. The fire will light up everything really well. Joe Biden will never be the man Michelle Obama was. So instead of going to college, I could have just opened a daycare in Minnesota. Yeah, it's just another joke they're shoving in people's faces. They had to figure out some way to claim that the U.S. was in debt. What is it now? 38? 39 trillion? I haven't looked in a couple weeks, so won't be long until it's 40, unless they collapse it before then. 1/3 of Gen Z was never born. According to a striking new report, child sacrifice has claimed nearly 1/3 of Generation Z, resulting in a cultural and demographic void too large to ignore. Analysts estimate that globally between 1997 and 2012, years considered the birth period for Gen Z, some 800 to 900 million unborn children were lost to child sacrifice. Taxman, released August 5th, 1966. Did Paul McCartney write this one? I'm not sure. Regardless, if this was true 60 years ago, how much more true is it today? Boys to be sent on courses to tackle misogyny in schools. I had an article related to this one in last week's show, and like one of the things I said last week, this is just yet another way that they are trying to totally erase any sort of masculinity, especially out of the youngest generations. If they can't fill them full enough of pharmaceuticals and brainwash them in the classroom, then they'll send them to advanced brainwashing sessions. And the thing is, this really isn't anything different than what's been happening in the US as well. All you women who are complaining that men won't help anymore, well, you got exactly what you asked for.
I'm here to say one more thing.
Oh, goody.
I just had to drag my AC out of my car to my apartment building. 3 guys passed me. None of them offered to help.
Why should they? Women are strong and independent. They can do everything on their own.
None. 0 out of 3. Why? Because you couldn't lift it? You were too scared to lift it? Is that why? Am I intimidating? Am I more masculine than you?
No, that's not what it is at all. But let's take a moment to think about how many women, thousands upon thousands of women, are saying every single day that in fact they don't need men. They don't need them at all. In fact, they're saying sometimes that the world would be better off without men. But apparently, some women still need men for grunt work. I should think that they would be grateful that men are finally listening to their wishes, ideas, and their feelings. But apparently not when it comes to lifting heavy objects.
To answer her question, are women more masculine? Well, compared to today's generation of males, yeah, some might be. Are men intimidated by women? No, but modern women have preached so hard about how they are strong, independent women who don't need no man. Okay, then stop complaining. But more importantly, every man today needs to look through the lens of risk assessment before doing anything. I don't care what it is. Anytime a man approaches a woman, it doesn't matter for what reason, if there are witnesses, etc. Anytime a man approaches or has any interaction with a woman, they're taking a big risk to their reputation because of all the stupid videos that women stage and set up to try to trap men and put them on the internet. They're also taking a big financial risk for lawsuits and all kinds of things. I seen a news video not too long ago of a man who got sued because he saved the life of some woman. So the guy saved her life, and then a short time later she took him to court and sued him. And even worse, men are risking their own freedom because even now, this system in the courts almost always take whatever a woman claims as absolute truth. And there's even been situations where there was video evidence proving otherwise, and yet it was still ruled against the man. Because of modern women's attitudes and because of all the risks that is involved today, these are the reasons that men have stopped offering help, that they've stopped interacting with a lot of women in public in any way, that they won't stop on the side of the road to help someone, especially if it's a woman. If it isn't someone that you directly know and can trust them completely, the risk isn't worth it anymore. AI tools are being used to subject women in public life to online violence. Why? Did they get fact-checked? NBA legend calls on Trump to implement mandatory military service. A former NBA player and champion 6'10" Dwight Howard recently called upon President Trump to consider implementing a mandatory term of service for Americans. I honestly feel like the president should make 1 year of service mandatory for everyone born in America. Well, since he believes this so strongly, he must have been in the military, right? Wrong. He never served. Homeowner owes $100,000 for improperly parking on her own driveway after courts reject appeal. The city of Lantana, Florida, fined Sandy Martinez $250 a day for 407 straight days for partially parking on her property's grass. And I actually read this article, and because of how many people was in the house who also had full-time jobs, I think it was 4 cars total, and because the driveway was only so wide, they said that 2 tires on one side of the vehicle would be just over in the edge of the grass. And if it wasn't bad enough that these fines were even allowed in the first place, the court basically has said, yeah, this is completely legitimate, and they threw out the appeal, just like the title here says. This is just another example of how this governmental beast system will find some way to destroy you and take everything you have. And if they don't have a way, they'll make one. Ram is exploring a smarter way to make pickup trucks more aerodynamic. No, they're not. They're trying to make it look like a Cybertruck. Happy New Year! EV registration fees will double in this state on January the 1st. In Minnesota, the current $75 annual fee will now be at least $150, a bipartisan move aimed at offsetting lost gas tax revenue for public infrastructure projects. Yeah, every time people think they found some sort of loophole, the government swoops in and taxes it, which nothing about electric vehicles were ever loopholes. All the claims about how much money people will save was just used to get people to buy into it. Pretty soon, it'll cost more to charge an EV than it will be to get gas. When an engineer goes to medical school. No, if it was done by an engineer, it would be completely impractical and impossible to reach without complete disassembly. A federal judge gave a green light to New York's so-called green light law, rejecting the Trump administration's bid to stop the state from giving people driver's license without having them prove they are in the country legally. And this surprises people? It would be sort of interesting to know how many tens of millions of people that are in the U.S. illegally and yet has been given driver's license from who knows how many states. But yet if you or I, as a U.S. citizen, goes to renew our driver's license, not even to get a new one, but just to renew them, you have to prove you paid your property taxes, 3 forms of federal ID, proof for all of your past addresses from the last 20 years, all of your current internet history, and your 3rd grade report card. Here is a news clip from the BBC where this woman talks about how the UK government prioritized China over its own citizens.
Have a government that will arrest you for a tweet, but if you're a hostile Chinese spy, they'll look the other way. And this is the problem when we have a government that fears offending China more than it fears betraying Britain. Don't forget that this was Jonathan Powell, the National Security Advisor, is part of the 48 Group Club, which acts like a soft liaison trade group, but actually courts UK elites, ministers, advisors, to push Chinese interests.
Don't do this in public. A 37-year-old Indian national, Ramu whatever, was fined $400 in Singapore for defecating at the entrance of the shops at Marina Bay Sands. Sounds like San Diego, or maybe Portland. Robots fashioned from dead lobster exoskeletons have awesome strength, lightweight, and flexibility. Necrobotics Advance mixes sustainable food waste with synthetic components. How many millions of dollars did they get for researching this? Because it sure as heck lines somebody's pockets. I'm assuming this is photoshopped, or it's really poor marketing. With that said, in all the garbage that they sell in the stores and the restaurants and everything else, a huge amount of which comes from China, among other places, you know that this is most likely true. 10 of these would buy you an average home in 1929. 10 of these will buy you an average home in 2026. The M1928 Thompson is the perfect stable currency. I completely agree. If you think you're smarter than the previous generation, 50 years ago, the owner's manual of a car showed you how to adjust the valves. Today, it warns you not to drink the contents of the battery. Me trying to get a good night's sleep. Facebook Marketplace at 2 a.m. Well, I've seen worse. Earlier, I mentioned how women set up men so they can record them and put it on the internet to shame them. This here is an example of that. With that said, men are getting sick and tired of this, along with everything else that's being done to them, and women are starting to figure out that men are not going to continue to take the disrespect anymore.
Yeah, I got him in here cooking tonight after he works 12 hours, see?
For all of you that have seen my original video on this, there is an update she has posted. Before I slide in what I need to say, let's watch that video.
So me and my husband are in a huge fight right now. He actually left, and he said he's gonna stay gone until I get my act together. So I'm gonna tell you what happened, okay? Pretty much, he works like 70 hours a week, okay? And I asked him if we can go out to eat. We went out to eat yesterday, and I asked him again if we can go out to eat again. He said that this can't be something we do on a routine basis. And I'm just like, why not? Why not? When you have the money to do it and you make all that money, why can't we do that? He says, because we're supposed to be saving. We're supposed to save. What are we investing in? Why are we saving in the first place? Okay? First of all, what I'm not going to do is sit here and allow someone to tell me what my money, that's my money too, because we're married. I'm not going to allow someone to tell me what my money is going to go towards. Okay? Simple as that. And if he's going to keep it up, then he don't have to come back.
First of all, bravo to your husband for standing up for himself. That man needs to stay gone. Second of all, girl, it sounds like you're going to lose a whole husband over dinners. Thirdly, your money is really his money when you're not being a team player. And it will quickly, faster than you expect, return to his money forever, even when you decide you do want to be a team player when he decides to remain gone.
Scientists grow mini human brains to power computers. It may have its roots in science fiction, but a small number of researchers are making real progress trying to create computers out of living cells. And it only gets worse. Brain in a jar. Biocomputers can now learn to control robots. Living brain cells wired into organoid-on-a-chip biocomputers can now learn to drive robots, thanks to an open-source intelligent interaction system called Metabot. This remarkable project aims to rehome human brain cells in artificial bodies. This here is just showing one of these mini brains controlling this small prototype, but we all know what they're actually looking to do is to put them in these full-size androids. And sadly, it's only a short matter of time. On the same note, lab-grown brain cells play video game Pong. How vegans think animals die in the wild. Meet Cooper, my emotional support dog. Yeah, they'd be a better backup than most people would be. The Democrats' job is to destroy the country. The Republicans' job is to pretend they will stop them. A lot of people don't like hearing it, but it's just a simple fact. We should raise the taxes of the communists to 100%. I was gonna say, yeah, see how long they continue to like communism. But the rest of us are already taxed 2/3 of the way there now. Here is a short clip of George Carlin in this interview talking about how we only have the illusion of choice, and he's absolutely right.
There is no national conspiracy to buy elections and control America.
Don't need a formal conspiracy.
Right.
When interests converge, these people went to the same universities and fraternities, they're on the same boards of directors, they're in the same country clubs, they have like interests, they don't need to call a meeting, they know what's good for them, and they're getting it. And there used to be 7 oil companies, there are now 3, it will soon be 2. The things that matter in this country have been reduced in choice. There are 2 political parties, there are a handful of insurance companies, there are about 6 or 7 information things, but if you want a bagel, there are 23 flavors because you have the illusion. You have the illusion of choice.
Study finds that hearing an opposing viewpoint causes no real harm. Well, you know they didn't get a government grant then. I'd rather be a conspiracy theorist than whatever happened to the rest of society. It's not theories anymore. I worked with a lady who was remarking on how a friend of hers had lost a bunch of weight. She pondered, I wonder how many Diet Cokes she had to drink to do that. Man, this made me a little sad. People are so susceptible to marketing these days that they think just because something is called diet, it must be good for them. Reminds me of a flatmate from university who used to drink smart water before taking exams. Neither one of these points surprises me whatsoever. And I'm going to end today's show with this. Everybody is an environmentalist in the sense of not wanting to breathe polluted air or drink polluted water. But in practice, the term has come to refer to a pagan nature worship cult that readily sacrifices other human beings on the altar to their dogmas. If you'd like to help the channel, please consider hitting that like and subscribe and share the videos. That's it for today's show, but I'll see you guys back here next Saturday. Until then, I thank you all for watching. You guys take care and stay safe this week, because the Idiocracy is only getting worse by the day. This is Akorn, over and out. Here's another example of today's modern independent women who don't need no man.
There is no way. Tyler, what is she doing?
Why doesn't she just jump it right now?
I am so confused.
And is that even gonna work?
What is she doing? Tyler. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
There's no way this works.
There is no way.
And if the battery wasn't bad enough, she don't even close the hood all the way. Not even the first latch clicks from what I can tell. So as soon as she drives away and starts going any speed at all, the hood's gonna fly open and hit the windshield.
Did she say she's okay?
She just said she's got it, I guess. I guess she's done it before. She seemed confident.
Oh,
it worked.
It started.
It worked.
It started. I guess she's just gonna drive away with it like that.
I mean, I guess it worked.